Amazon Prime Video offers a vast collection of horror films, ranging from small-budget gems to big-budget blockbusters, spanning genres from cheesy creature features to intense psychological thrillers. In this video, we will explore the 10 scariest horror movies available on Prime Video. Hit subscribe and leave a comment with your favorite. Abigail.
Hello?
Abigail delivers a bloody good time, skillfully blending horror, comedy, and gory action. The plot follows a group of kidnappers who believe they've hit the jackpot when they abduct the daughter of a powerful underworld figure for a $50 million ransom. However, they soon discover they've gotten far more than they bargained for. Abigail, portrayed by Alicia Weir, isn't just any victim, she's a vampire.
How do we kill it?
Crucifixes.
Stake through the heart. Daylight is a big one.
As she turns the tables on her captors and hunts them down with chilling precision. The film reimagines the classic 1936 tale of Dracula's daughter, injecting fresh energy into the horror genre. Even if some of the twists feel familiar from the trailers, Abigail still packs a punch for horror fans by balancing tension with an unexpected dose of humor. The Collector. The Collector is a 2009 horror thriller that is filled with gore and intriguing traps. The story revolves around Arkin, a man who plans to rob a wealthy family's safe in order to settle his ex-wife's debt. However, upon breaking into the house, he discovers that it has been infiltrated by a sadistic killer known as the Collector. The family is held captive, and the house is rigged with deadly traps.
You can save them.
Arkin must navigate these dangers, confront the Collector, and strive to save the family, all while securing his own survival. The Collector is a delightfully twisted and chilling original horror thriller, blending elements of Home Alone with Hostel and Saw. The level of violence and gore is just right, making it a highly recommended watch for fans of unsettling and eerie films. A Quiet Place, Day 1. A Quiet Place. Day 1 takes us back to the terrifying origins of the alien invasion in A Quiet Place. This sci-fi horror thriller, set in the heart of New York City, is both a spin-off and a prequel to John Krasinski's original film. The story follows Samira and Eric as they struggle to survive the chaotic first hours of the attack, where every noise could mean death. The city's streets, now filled with fear and panic, become a dangerous maze where silence is their only chance of survival. Directed by Michael Sarnowski and co-written by Krasinski, the film blends horror with the tension of a city under siege. Lupita Nyong'o gives a gripping performance, bringing both emotion and strength to the story. Men.
Stay away from me.
Alex Garland's Men is a psychological horror that's eerie, unsettling, and downright bizarre. Jessie Buckley plays Harper, a grieving woman looking for peace in the English countryside, only to be stalked by a series of disturbing male figures, all played by Rory Kinnear. From the start, the film oozes dread, with haunting cinematography, eerie sound design, and an overwhelming sense of unease.
Twice. I don't know if he saw you once.
It blends folk horror with surreal horror and a sharp feminist edge, but by the time it reaches its grotesque, mind-bending finale, Men pushes so far into the bizarre that it almost loses sight of its deeper message. Blink Twice.
Uh-oh.
We need to know what's really going on.
Blink Twice marks Zoe Kravitz's jaw-dropping directorial debut, blending the vibes of Get Out and Shutter Island. The story follows Frida, a cocktail waitress played by Naomi Ackie, whose life takes a wild turn after meeting the charming tech billionaire Slater King, played by Channing Tatum. After a chaotic but charming first encounter, Frida and her best friend Jess, played by Aaliyah Shawkat, get invited to Slater's private island, a tropical paradise that promises luxury and escape.
Can't you feel it? There's something wrong with this place.
But what starts as a dream vacation quickly turns into a nightmare, as Frida starts to feel that something isn't quite right with their host and the island itself. Ackie and Tatum deliver incredible performances, and the tension builds so smoothly that before you know it, you're completely hooked. This film isn't about flashy twists, it's all about how things unfold. Dr. Sleep.
You run there, and then I will find you. And you will scream for years.
Nearly 40 years after Stanley Kubrick's The Shining terrified audiences, its long-awaited sequel, Dr. Sleep, was released in 2019. Directed by Mike Flanagan, this adaptation of Stephen King's follow-up novel bridges the gap between King's vision and Kubrick's iconic 1980 film. The story follows an adult Danny Torrance, still haunted by his traumatic past at the Overlook Hotel, as he faces a sinister cult called the True Knot, led by the ruthless Rose the Hat, played by Rebecca Ferguson, who preys on children with psychic abilities.
There's a place. You sure you want to do this?
I'm ready.
Danny teams up with a young girl named Abra, whose powerful telepathic gifts make her a target. Blending supernatural horror with an intense battle between good and evil, Dr. Sleep delivers a gripping story while honoring Kubrick's classic. Oculus. If haunted dolls and cursed boxes creep you out, Oculus cranks it up a notch with a mirror that messes with reality itself. Directed by Mike Flanagan, this supernatural horror follows siblings Kaylee, played by Karen Gillan, and Tim, played by Brenton Thwaites, as they reunite to take on the cursed antique that tore their family apart. Kaylee sets up an experiment with cameras, alarms, and even a deadly failsafe. Because this mirror doesn't just haunt you, it twists your mind until you destroy yourself. With eerie visuals and some brutal psychological horror, that fingernail scene, yikes. Oculus keeps you questioning what's real until the very end. The House of the Devil.
Are you not the babysitter?
2009. The House of the Devil follows Samantha Hughes, a cash-strapped college student who takes a seemingly simple babysitting job in a remote, creepy house. Hired by the strange Ullman family, Samantha is told she'll be caring for their elderly mother-in-law. But as the night progresses, it becomes clear there's far more going on than meets the eye.
All I have to do is sit inside and watch TV. This is huge. This one night changes everything for me.
Samantha stumbles upon the Ullmans' chilling secret. They're involved in a satanic cult, and she's been lured into their dark ritual during a lunar eclipse. The movie's tension builds as Samantha's fight for survival intensifies, caught in a deadly game she never signed up for. Rosemary's Baby. Despite being over 40 years old, 1968 horror classic Rosemary's Baby still holds up remarkably well. The film follows Rosemary, a young wife who moves into a New York City apartment with her husband. At first, everything seems normal, but things take a strange turn when she becomes pregnant. Her new neighbors, the overly friendly Castavets, begin showing an unusual interest in her life. As the pregnancy progresses, Rosemary starts to suspect that something is terribly wrong. Polanski expertly builds the tension, leaving you questioning what's real and what's just in Rosemary's mind. With its eerie atmosphere and subtle horror, Rosemary's Baby doesn't rely on cheap scares to get under your skin. Mia Farrow's performance remains a timeless portrayal of psychological horror. The Exorcist.
That thing isn't my daughter.
It is he who commands you! The power of Christ compels you!
1973. The Exorcist is a horror classic that still delivers. It follows Regan, a young girl possessed by a demonic force. Her desperate mother turns to two priests for an exorcism, her last hope. Known for its shocking and disturbing scenes, it's a battle of good versus evil, faith versus doubt.
You will mix lies with the truth.
Why, Jimmy?
To attack us. Do not listen.
It was the first horror film ever nominated for a Best Picture Oscar, and it's still one of the most iconic. 50 years later, The Exorcist holds up. No cheap jump scares, just pure psychological terror that stays with you. A true masterpiece.